welcome back. It has been, I feel like, a long time since we've not just played Temptations, but I feel like we haven't been streaming as consistently recently. Partially my fault, almost all my fault. There's been a lot going on. Hoping that is going to be changing pretty soon. For now, we're back. We're here tonight. Everybody except Ravnock's not feeling well, so he won't be joining us, but show must go on is something they say about other things. Normally we just don't play Temptations, but tonight we decided the show must go on. With that being said, I'm gonna need a decent recap from you, Psychic. I do remember I'm dead. And that's about the extent of what I remember detail-wise. So I'm gonna hand it over to you now, and you can do all that heavy
that's
lifting.
fine. We have a saying here at Wolfkin's TTRPG, where, say for example, if Old Queen Crow, who has nothing to do with Temptations, is sick and has to miss something, we cancel Temptations. If Duke is feeling not good and isn't even in a session or campaign at the time, we still cancel Temptations. So, so last session
we're consistently inconsistent. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
I'm telling you, this show runs on vibes.
Temptations runs on vibes. Absolutely.
Okay, so in the last session, you guys had made it all the way down to the bottom of the basement area, the subliminal space underneath the observatory. You guys had gone there originally to try and figure out what was going on because Ramona asked you to have a look in the basement. Some shit's going on in the basement. We did, before then, have a session with Kellen, who played our lovely Bread and Butterfly, and had a great time with that, so that was nice. But at the end of the last session, you guys had found Tough, and Tough was one of the 4 original players from my campaign before, my mixed campaign. I kind of combined the 2 into this one. That none of them were watching, by the way. How fucking dare you, Lucas? I'll call you out by name. But no, so Tough was kind of standing at the bottom, was kind of having basically an existential crisis, as God was the original god of essentially the underworld, the ferryman of the souls, stuff like that. And as we had learnt inside this space, there was a lot of these kind of souls. I like to think of it like this: the whispers from Final Fantasy VII Remake. Essentially, that was kind of the inspiration going around there.
Oh, I thought you described it as the Far Plane, didn't you? From Final Fantasy X?
Yeah, Far Plane, the Whisper.
I remember that now.
Kind of similar vibes. But yeah, so the idea being that you guys had seen these spirits that were flying around. I can't remember who it was, but I know one of you did recognize that some of them were some people that you had met in Alauri, in the world of Alauri. You had Akita, who was the wind goddess. You had some of the mayors, stuff like that. But when you guys had gotten to the bottom and you had seen Tough, Tough was basically under a spell that Bread and Butterfly and Coral had noticed because Torvil was at the other end of the arena and was basically pulling the strings. So Torvil had basically forced you guys to fight Tough. And after a long fought battle, Tough went down, was still alive at the end. You just didn't kill her. She was still alive at the end. That's right, there was a big fireball from Persephone.
Oh yeah.
Which was great. So there was that. But at the end of it all, Persephone was down, Tough was down, and Torvil was basically being a real dick about it. Like, trying to talk about the order of the world and how in life and death and all that stuff. And had counterspelled a healing spell
to
bring
Persephone I remember
back
that
up.
now.
And then straight away, everyone was like, yeah, but we're not stupid. Give her a potion. Because you can't counterspell a fucking potion.
Still,
but you had brought her up, and Torvil was basically...
I made a very funny joke about science there, I think.
Probably. But yeah, and then by the end of it, Coral and Rose and your wolf were essentially walking towards Torvil, and like Rose was being a little antagonistic as well, kind of egging them on.
Rose was being a lot antagonistic.
egging them on to the point where Tough was wiped out. Instantly was killed by Torvil without even trying anything. Rose was like, was that supposed to impress me? So Torvil had cast a spell or done something. The world had gone black for everybody. And Persephone, Coral, and Val all woke up back at the Bastion. And Rose was not there. Now, the good news is that, as we know, if there is no body, there is no death. Unfortunately, she's dead. Explicitly said out loud, she gone. So this is where we pick up, because I believe it was Coral that woke up first and was basically running down the bastion to find everybody. But essentially put, this is where we pick up. So I had said to Killer and Zeb before the session starts, so obviously I'll say it again. I have planned the ending. So we are officially in the final arc for Temptations.
Oh.
So
Okay.
to
I kind of
follow-
figured. I kind of assumed maybe just based on our levels that we were getting close to something. So
Yeah, so I
all right.
have planned the ending. But as we know, with everything that we do here at Wolfkins, we gotta fucking get there eventually. So, so this is where we pick up. So there are going to be the two stories side by side. So we have Rose, who is dead, and then we have everybody else who is alive. And I do know how I'm doing things. So rule number one is never split the party. It's a bit difficult not to at this stage. But I have the plans, I have the means. We are going to be okay.
Are we?
Happy with that?
I mean,
sure.
speak for yourself. I'm dead.
Yeah. Let's go,
Yeah,
Project
doesn't
Yes.
feel so good on the other side, does it? What I'm kidding.
Excuse you. All of your deaths were your fault. Do not give me
Literally.
that shit. And I let you
Literally,
live
yeah.
through what? At least 1.5 werewolfkins cons. You shush.
Yeah. So this is where we pick up. So because we are starting a new arc, we are starting a new kind of the ending, so to speak, quotation marks. I hadn't created any new maps because I don't know what we're doing. I don't know what you guys want to do, so there will not be any maps for this session. To make that easier for everybody. So this is a RP, and now we can jump to. I'm going to start with the 3, obviously 2 now, but I'm going to start with the Coral, Persephone, and Val. And obviously, you guys have just woken up. You guys have just learnt that Rose is not here. But there was the final part at the end with Val and Bread and Butterfly, because in the afterlife, Rose had said, hey, you need to go to them. I will be okay. So Val is sort of convinced that she's not dead. She's not gone, because Bread and Butterfly is still here and was on your shoulder. So, how are we feeling? What are we doing? What would you like to do? Because the world is your oyster.
Val is because they could see that Bread and Butterfly was with me now, right?
Yes.
Everybody else can. Okay. Obviously, Coral can, because Coral can see everything.
Yeah, but you didn't see that coming, though.
Hey,
Inspiration for me. No, I'm kidding.
yeah, self-inspiration. I think Val is gonna turn to the other two and be like, I think this goes without saying, but we need to find her, and we need to find her quickly. I'm trying not to panic. I'm not a very emotional person, but I need her. I need her back. We need to find her. What should we do, Coral? Persephone, what should we do?
Honestly, I don't even know. Like where she went or how to find her. To be honest, maybe there's something in like the Bastion, like the surveillance systems and stuff. We might find some sort of a clue there. But honestly, I don't know.
Do you think that maybe she's in like another one of those worlds, perhaps?
I mean,
Is
that's
that
possible. I mean, who knows what's possible? That's the problem here. We're dealing with gods who can
know what's possible?
Yeah. Honestly, that's the biggest problem here. That we don't know what's possible, and we don't know what these gods are capable of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like to think of Persephone's trying to figure everything out. Persephone's furiously Googling everything that she can possibly think of.
Every time you try to talk to her, she just holds up her finger and she just keeps.
Hang on.
Yeah.
I'm researching.
I do that to my son now. I think that we might need to find a library.
Okay. I think I think I can find one for you. What are we looking up?
Out of the game, I keep forgetting that I have a thing that allows me that like makes it so like libraries are special for me.
Yeah, the blessing from Caglio.
Yeah. Caglio's blessing.
Yeah.
Is Caglio around? Did we kill him yet?
No, Caglio was the one that Caglio was the one that was basically the like the god of knowledge. Was like hacked into the system at the start and was showing up on the monitors and like telling you guys what was going on. And Caglio and Headsman are the two that Hamona basically backs. Like they're good. They've been working for me, kind of a thing.
Can we find Caglio? This is in game back. Like, isn't Caglio? Can we maybe find Caglio and see if maybe he will help? Because I think if Hermona finds out that her great times a million
5 minutes later.
Yeah. Grandmother is trapped in a hellscape that potentially she would help us try to get her back or support us in trying to get her back. What do you think? I mean, I don't trust the gods, but I think I'm reaching here at this point.
Yeah, we need allies of some kind, and I don't know. I don't think we can trust Caglio, but like it certainly seems. I don't know. I'm down to at least try to find them.
Yeah, I'm willing to try anything.
Yeah, I don't trust them, to be honest.
Yeah, right. I guess like Percy's not here. But I think at this point this would be where like we have Percy like look up like try to reach out to Hermona because the person that reached out to Hermona is in hell. So we can't use that. So I think that would be what we would do.
Ultimately, anyone who's a foe to Torvil is a friend of ours, I think.
That's a good way to look at it.
Also, if I find that person, I am going to destroy him because this is uncool.
Well, I mean, fair.
Okay, so the plan is to have a Google, have a look around, and see if you can find any information for Caglio, find a library, stuff like
Get in
that.
touch with Caglio, find a library, fuck some shit up.
Yeah, so get you both to roll me tech, because we are currently needing to use the tech to find what we need to find.
We need to figure out where hell is, how to get there, and
etc. etc.
Yeah, 19.
Nice. And then as we wait 3 to 5 business days for Zebb's dice rolls because they never work.
Slowly rolling here.
Technology 18. Nice.
Yeah, 18.
So with an 18 and 19, it's not difficult to find information on the God of Knowledge. They're pretty much like one of the main first two options that come up after a good old search. You do find a little bit of information about where they tend to frequent, which is the libraries. And you do also know now that the kind of main library of this world is but essentially a subsidiary of the museum. With the museum being such a massive building, of course it has its own library section.
Like an archive
And then you
type.
guys, yeah. And it's not hard to put two and two together with it being the main like Smithsonian Museum of this world, with it being so close to the city central, and also it's where like all of the science and the gods and everything usually end up. You can put two and two together pretty easily to be like, okay, we should probably head back there. We're gonna find that incense. So, do you want to head straight there, or do you want to do something else first?
No,
I
I
think I'm
think we
heading
should
right
just
there.
head right there. Yeah.
Alrighty. So, heading straight to the library. Stepping outside up the top as you ride the elevator to the top of the bastion, you guys walk out into that little area, that little waiting bay, so to speak. It has been cleaned up from the last time that you guys were here. It has been cleaned up from the kind of bodies that had jumped out, the kind of robotics that were on the ground that you guys had smashed. What feels like ages ago now. It feels like a whole age beforehand. It is cleaned. There's like a little rose kind of sitting on a bench. But that's been cleaned up, and you guys are going to head into the little van that is hot wired ages ago. And you guys are going to head to the library. On your way there, moving over to Rose, you, as we had said, you were kind of stuck in this endless and floating abyss. There wasn't really any real tangible platforms. There wasn't really any tangible ideas, and you had not long sent Bread and Butterfly to Val. So you are now completely alone. While you're there, there is this very tiny and faint light that is way off in the distance. But aside from that light, you are stuck in this endless zone of just nothingness. Your feet do find their footing. There is at least something that you're walking on that you cannot see or feel. But you can at least start to feel this sense that even though you are by yourself, you are definitely not on your own in this space.
Okay. I guess I'll start really having no other sense of direction besides that light. I think I'll head towards it and just walk. I mean, what else am I to do besides just walk towards the light?
Don't go towards the light. Are you kidding me?
Going towards the light. Gotta figure something out. As I go, I'm going to do just some little experiments. I do want to just see if I still have any semblance of my power here. So I will just try to
Yep.
just cast like Druidcraft just to blow my hair a bit, just to see if I have the ability to influence this plane with magic.
Yeah, so Druidcraft being a cantrip is free, that is easy enough. It still goes off without a hitch. There's still no issues there. That you still have some, as you said, semblance of magic. You still have the ability to do spells and stuff like that. It feels a little bit different though. Whilst in the kind of overworld, magic kind of has its own sense of feeling and has its own thing. This time being here, it feels more like someone is kind of pulling your hair back and kind of like letting their fingers kind of run to it rather than it being like just a magical wind effect.
Interesting. Creepy, but interesting.
I've been reading too many of those novels. I was like, hot.
Oh.
I mean, fair.
So I think I would
You'll make her
normally
moan,
say
yeah?
agree with you if this wasn't a dark, endless void and I can't see who's behind me. That's the creepy part, I think. This isn't like a ghost situation, right? Like I don't there's no like somebody I know that's here. It's like yeah, I think with that, I think that'll be the last time I cast anything for now. And I will just start just walking,
Mm.
not running, just at a leisurely pace, just walking. And
Yeah.
I don't think Rose is as unsettled as others might be in this situation. I mean, she spent, to her, I mean, 100 years in this dreamlike state. So, I mean, this isn't necessarily a foreign feeling to her, this kind of dreamlike
Yeah.
loneliness. So I think while she's not really thrilled to be back in this situation, I don't think that she's necessarily despairing over it.
Yeah, and that's totally understandable as well. Well, as you said, Rose has been asleep for a very long time before all of this had started and come about. So, with that casual, slow, nice stroll as we're like walking towards this light, is it safe to assume that she's holding it in, but she's not really trying to think too much about everything that's going on? Are there any thoughts that she has, any like worries, any issues? Like what's going through her head as she's heading towards this light in this dark expanse? Magic feels different. Like she can't see anything. Her body feels different. Obviously, she's worried about Val. She's worried about Coral. But what is going through her mind as we start to kind of delve into the idea that she's not? This is different.
I think that her major concern is not for herself right now, it's for her friends. That she doesn't
Hmm.
know if they're okay. She doesn't know if they're in a similar situation. She just doesn't really know anything. And I think her thoughts linger on Val for a minute, and I think then she starts to get angry. I think there's this rage that she's fighting to keep down because right now it's not going to help. But I think there's
Hmm.
this bubbling, and it's been kind of happening over the course of, well, season two. Um, this anger towards the gods and especially Torvil for this unjust way that he does things, for this
Hmm.
just cocky ass attitude that he has, and how he, for lack of a better word, plays God with everybody. And I think that rage is getting to a point to where it's almost hard for her to keep it in anymore, especially as she thinks about Val, what Val could be going through right now, where she might be. And I think it takes a lot of willpower for her to just not lose herself in that and keep focused on the task at hand.
Yeah. So in that kind of moment of vulnerability that Rose has definitely worn on her sleeve, she wears her heart on her sleeve. Everybody knows exactly how she feels at each time. There's almost this kind of moment of not reconciliation with the idea of what she's going through, but more so the idea that Rose is experiencing something different, is still worried about her friends no matter what. And there's this moment of clarity that kind of washes over you. While you're slowly walking, you have that rage, you have that anger, that pain, so to speak, that we feel with everything that's going on. And as you kind of start to walk, your footsteps as you kind of look down towards the ground in almost sorrow, anguish, however we want to call it. But when you have this moment of that crack, that anger, where you're trying so hard to keep it in, but there's one moment where it just kind of takes over that little bit. And as you kind of stand and walk, you start to notice these small pulses that start to come from underneath your foot. More reactionary to how you're standing, how you're walking, and the emotions that you feel. But you can feel this, you see this pulse, the kind of like a sonar that sends out from your feet. And as you kind of watch it, you see that it just kind of keeps on expanding and expanding and expanding, and it just goes on and it doesn't stop. It takes a good couple of minutes after you've calmed down just enough to keep your emotions in check that the pulses do stop, and then after another couple of minutes that they disappear from view.
She'll take a minute and try to calm herself. She'll close her eyes, I think she will allow herself one more druid craft just to um, try to help calm her down. And she's reaching for something that she knows will make her happy.
Mhm.
Seeing this, I think she wants to try and see what happens if there's another strong emotion that kind of washes over her. So
Mhm.
she's thinking about just something, and she does druidcraft um, almost without thinking, just the first thing that comes to her mind, and she will create a sensory effect. So it's, let's see, like a gentle breeze or a faint odor or a scent. So I think that she just creates something she knows that will trigger that like memory of happiness that will help kind of put her in that mindset. And let me ask you, Val, is there any kind of like specific perfume or anything
I
that
knew it.
that Val
Uh,
wears?
yeah, I think Val has a very like bookish, like a leather and lilac kind of scent. I
I
think,
think that.
like
Go ahead.
old book.
Okay.
Go ahead, sorry.
She just kind of casts without thinking, and as that hits her, something kind of washes over her, and I think it takes Rose by surprise. I think for a minute she's like, "Why did I? Why did I do that?" But I think it has the desired effect of changing her emotions into one more
Mhm.
of peace and relaxed and contentment. And with that, I think she's going to kind of stamp her foot and see if anything else happens now that she's with a different emotion.
Yeah, so with this new emotion now, as you stamp your foot, you've got that clarity, you've got that peace, you've kind of what normal people would think that you kind of hit another level of just we're good, we're fine, I've got myself sorted now. As you stamp your feet, nothing happens at first. For a few seconds, there is no pulses, there's no sensory feelings, there's nothing like that. When you cast Druidcraft just on instinct and you have that odor that kind of washes over you, in your mind, you know it's in your mind, you know it's not in front of you, but in your mind, you can almost perfectly encapsulate the idea of Val and how she is. As you take a stance, the pulses don't happen, but after about a minute, it takes a while for this to occur. But I mean, all you've got is time. You don't have to worry about anything
I'm not
else.
going anywhere.
Exactly. So in your mind, you have this mental image of Val. And as you kind of take a stance and you kind of put your foot down, there's a solid minute where nothing kind of happens. After a little while, you start to see these little mechanical roses, these kind of roses made of iron, of copper, of like these different, starts to drip with these chemicals, so to speak. Which obviously to us is going to represent Val's artificer heritage, knowing what she can do, the chemical stuff like that. You're going to see these roses start to appear in this almost like a straight line to, like heading towards that light. After a little bit more time and thinking about it and feeling it, the mental image in your head of Val kind of starts to move and it starts to keep an idea of things, but it never truly goes away. That mental image of her, even after the spell is done, even after the roses wilt and disappear as, you know, magic starts to leave in its own way, the image of the image of Val doesn't go away. And after walking a little bit further, you notice that Val has been running around. It looks like she's talking to people. It looks like she's doing things. It looks like she's standing still for like a minute or so, and then she's walking and talking, and then she makes this wide gesture with her hand, and then she does it again in the back, and then she does it again. She looks like she's pulling another gesture, and in your mind, you're kind of just watching her acting, and it's almost like she's staying there for a long time. And it isn't until you see her kind of jump up a little bit and sit down that we cut back to the other two as you guys are now sitting in the van as you start to drive towards the library. So, coming now on the drive, Coral, it is going to be a piloting check. You are the driver. You are the designated driver. We love a designated driver, but Val, you are kind of sitting there, this very anxious ball of anxiety energy, this kind of feeling of just like needing to find something. We need to hold on to something because if we stop thinking about things or if we stop like worrying, that's when we crumble. And I think it's safe to assume that Val knows that as soon as she stops worrying, she's going to crumble. So while we're driving, I need you to make me a wisdom saving throw, please.
Oh, cool. We love that.
And I have done a roll with my main players. I can say that there is no bad negative outcome. So this is just for something else. With a 13, for a wisdom save on a 13, you almost feel this kind of wind along your neck and it kind of like blows along your hair a little bit. It's just out of nowhere. It feels like something is kind of blown your hair a little bit, and there's a little bit longer now where you kind of have a look around, and looking outside you kind of see these little like roses start to sprout in the gardens along the road, along the path that we're driving along, but they look kind of this gorgeous iridescent greenish reddish color that kind of reminds you of Rose and how she would kind of have that emotional connection to things. Like anything that she did, there was always an emotion involved. She was very open and honest with herself. And in your mind, as you're going through these things, it kind of hits you a little bit that, like, while she's not here, she is. And it's starting to kind of play with you a little bit more. With the 13, one, we don't have a panic attack, which is nice. We're able to keep it in. The other side
You'll be
to
able
that,
to come back here again. No panic attack. Now roll for fart.
Constitution saving throw.
That won't make any sense if you didn't see the pre-show, but sorry. Continue.
Sucks to be you.
But yeah, so you feel this kind of wind on your hair. All the windows are up. That's the fart. And as you look out the window, you can see these roses kind of starting to sprout up, and it does fill you with a little bit more hope. As you guys get towards this, like the building, the big museum that we were at before, you do start to feel like there are eyes on you, and that you do start to feel like there are people watching you. While you're looking around, it doesn't seem like anybody's paying attention. All of the cameras that you can see are faced in other directions. All of the people that you are seeing are either on their mission, they know where they need to go, or they're specifically got a plan in mind. Nobody is actively looking at you. Coral isn't looking at you. He's currently parking and making sure that, everything's sorted. Persephone's still head in her phone, just furiously Googling at a speed that makes us a little bit worried for her and her mental health, but, that'll come later.
I'd like to think that
at this point, Percy's going to be making ChatGPT.
Well, that's what I was saying. Like, I feel like that maybe they're going down some kind of AI spiral. Like they just keep prompting it, and now they're in like this conspiracy web they can't get out of for a couple hours.
Oh my gosh.
That seems like a Persephone thing to do.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it does feel like there are eyes on you, and you can't see or feel anything else, but it feels like someone's watching you. But we've just arrived at the legendary Smithsonian Museum of this world. Don't even care what we originally called it. That's just what it is now. So as we hop out of the car, how are we feeling? What are we thinking? Coral, what's going through your mind? Because you're always the calm, collected one that needs to... Like, people always end up relying on you a lot. in a lot of situations. But what's going through your mind? How are you?
I mean,
feeling?
honestly, the calm and collectedness is that Coral's not a very smart person. So
I never said smart.
I like it. What, you're just too dumb to worry about it? Is that what you're saying?
I mean, he's got his concerns. His concern is to make sure that that our crew is safe and like whatever is out there. Basically, I'm going to interpose myself between ourselves and the threats that are out there. I don't know what the threats are yet, but I mean, I know what the threats are, but not like the approximate ones.
Yeah.
We have
Coral's
an
just
idea.
ready to shoot something in the face, and we love that
Yeah.
for Coral.
Yeah, he's simple.
I have questions I want to ask. Do you want the right one or the left one?
Yeah.
Alrighty, so going through this as well, and Val trying to keep it all together. Where would you like to go in this section, this museum? Are you heading straight to the library? Are you running to any of the other sections? Because as we said before, this is a massive building, so we were able to create what we wanted to look into. Whether we're successful is a different thing, but we are able to, if you have an idea, let us know. We can create it, and then we go from there. So what are we thinking? We will start with Val.
Right to the library. I'm gonna try to find Caglio, because I think that's going to be the fastest way. Like, again, Val is like 100% logic, and Val's like, if I need to have information, I'm going to go to the literal god of information to obtain this. So
That's the way to
that's
do
where
it.
Val wants to go. Yeah, right. Again, just makes sense. And I think that's where she's going. I think that's where she wants to go.
And Coral will be right on Val's heels.
Okay, so we're sticking together. We're not splitting up a third time. We're sticking together.
Absolutely.
We're fighting everything. Okay. So as you guys kind of run straight through, you're following the signs. I'm gonna get you both to make me a perception check, please. There is no negative to this. As I said, I will make sure that is known.
Oh, cool.
So that means that yes, everything else has had a negative. No.
Yeah.
Cool. So an 18 and a 23. With an 18, you kind of are able to lead your way there. Coral, I'm assuming it'd be safe to say that you're kind of just letting her go. You're just keeping close, but
Basically,
you're
yeah.
like, yeah. So as you guys are heading
He's my
towards,
scary dog privilege.
Fact.
That's funny. Okay, so walking through, you're following the signs, you're following everything that you need to do. Rose, you're seeing her frantically moving. She's like on a fucking mission. This bitch is ready to do whatever she needs to do. But Val, it doesn't take you long to follow the signs and find this very large, very open section of the building. And this is like hundreds of feet long and like at least 6 or 7 stories high. And there's this small moment of dread of just how the fuck are we supposed to find what we need to find in this massive area. Luckily for you, Coral has rolled a 23 and is able to kind of notice that the front desk isn't manned. The front desk that kind of stands in the reception area there just before leading into the building. There's nobody standing there. There's no one kind of doing anything at that moment. Val, as you start to kind of walk off, you feel someone kind of grab your like a little bit of your shirt, a little bit of the cloth there, and kind of just hold on to you. And noticing that it's Coral, Coral kind of points towards a little group over in the side, and you guys can see the kind of image of the last time you saw Caglio. That's kind of being shown up in this kind of almost ethereal looking robe, so to speak. You can see that she's quite pretty still, which is nice at least. but you can see that she's kind of standing over a group that has a bunch of books open, kind of helping them do some things. Coral, the 23 pointing them out. You don't know if you did point them out or if there was just kind of like a point in your head where someone kind of guided you along, still with that connection to the gods and the true sight. You can see them, and I nearly said killer, not quite. Val, you can see them as well. The difference is that with the 23 and the 18, it doesn't look like the students that are opened with the books can see them.
Interesting.
Okay.
This is where the autism kicks in, and I don't think that Val would care about kind of barging through the students and going straight up to Caglio, and Val is going to say, I need you to tell me how we can get into hell and get Rose out the quickest way possible without dying.
The students look up at you like you've lost your goddamn fucking mind. They just kind of watch you, and you can see them kind of like look between each other and then close up their books and walk off, and kind of take all their stuff with them. You do get a few weird looks. Coral,
Yeah. Used to it, homie.
Yeah, I'll interpose in that. I'll glare back at these people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stare down privilege.
Yeah, you better walk away. So you
That's
walk
my
up
weirdo.
That's my
Yeah, there's
weirdo.
important shit going on here, and she's
Alright. Standing there in front of this image of Cagliari, you see them kind of just like stand up straight. They're not that tall. Well, obviously they're a little bit taller than Val, but they're not that tall. They kind of just like turn, they're kind of just fixing themselves up, and hello. What did you say? Something about Rose? In another realm?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Hi. Nice to
Hello.
see you again. Rose
It's
is
been a while.
in the death realm, the dead realm. Rose did not.
we need her back.
Yeah, we need her back. Torvil took her, and I need her back, please. Thank you.
Caglio looks quite confused at what you're saying, and then as soon as you mention Torvil, like you can see this kind of not rage, but just this kind of disdain, as this kind of feeling washes over Caglio. And Rose, you can see her talking, you can see her making a few things. After a few minutes, you start to see the image of Caglio in front of her. You can see that they're talking. And then you can hear this as Caglio speaks. And it's just... Oh. Torvil is still up to his tricks and causing issues again. I can understand wanting to find Rose, especially if Torvil is the one dealing with everything. I am very sorry about that. I can do my best. Where were you when it happened? What happened? Mona hasn't really kept me in the loop. I've just had to ethically source my information, which I'm sure you don't believe, which is fair. What happened?
I recount the incidences without giving too much like crazy in-depth detail to her. And then we woke up and she wasn't there.
Okay. Um. Yeah. Okay. I can understand the feeling. Um. Well, I mean, I can't literally, but I'm sure you understand the sympathy. Uh. On does Mona know about that?
What a great question. I would say probably
Does it
knowing
matter?
that she basically knows everything. However, the one person that was her direct contact is currently in the dead realm, so
Rose, how are you reacting? Because you can hear Caglio.
Yeah, I think I think Rose is smart enough to realize that I'm looking in on something, but they can't see me, especially because they're talking about me and like I'm not there. So I think Rose is
Yeah,
just kind of
bitch.
taking all. I think Rose is just listening and taking all this in at the moment. The occasional like scoff or eye roll to herself or mumbling something under her breath, when Caglio says something. But yeah, I think right now she's just kind of watching this play out.
the
Okay.
worst kind of hell when nobody can hear you being sassy.
Exactly.
What is it? My mouth is closed, but I need to scream or something. Is the I'm
Kind of
trying
how
to
she
remember what that
feels.
was.
Yeah.
Anyway. Yeah. So listening in for at least Caglio, you can't hear Val. You can hear Caglio though, so you've heard at least half the
Okay, so I
conversation.
can only hear Caglio's portion. Okay.
You can only hear Caglio.
Got it.
Um, as you're kind of watching in your mind's eye and noticing like the words that Caglio's using, the stance that they hold, you start to feel this kind of like not depression. That's not the right word to use, but like it's a little bit more than just a disdain towards Torvil. You start to feel this emotion that you obviously have felt in the past, but you have felt a lot of anger towards him, and a lot of obviously frustration, anger, all that stuff. But that's kind of washed away, and you start to feel this disdain. You start to feel this dislike, less than anything else. It's almost like they farted in a church or something. It's not very nice. Um, but
This
Pre-show.
is the gift that keeps
roll
on giving.
Call back.
roll me. And I think you like this one. I can't remember if you like this one or not, but roll me an intelligence saving throw. I can't remember
Intelligence
whether it was
saving.
intelligence or wisdom that you liked.
I'm proficient in both of those. Wisdom's the
Okay.
better one, but intelligence saving throw?
Yes, please. I want to see
Well,
if you
that's
pick
a
up on this or not.
26.
Oh, you absolutely pick up on this. It's not hard for you to obviously notice the shift in your feelings towards Torval because it doesn't feel like they're your own, obviously. And it's also not difficult for you to kind of click in that you can hear Caglio, you can see Caglio, but you can't hear Val. You also can't see Coral or Persephone or anybody else. And with the 26, it's kind of simple to you that instead of your own kind of emotional feeling, you're starting to take on that of Caglio. You're starting to take on the emotions and the feelings that they have. You do start to feel quite powerful as your mind is kind of erasing through these different scenarios, these different ideas. And there's one slight moment where things kind of come to this wall in your mind, so to speak. And as you're kind of watching them, you have this one small moment of clarity. And Coral, can you make me a perception check with disadvantage, please? Yeah, disadvantage on Coral, which means Val, no. Love you. No.
Yeah,
Ooh.
not
14.
great. 14.
With a 14, you're kind of watching Val explain this whole story, and then they get to the end, and you watch as Caglio kind of just has this moment. And even though they are this kind of ethereal like a literal goddess in front of you, you kind of watch as she's kind of just been like moving her hands a little bit. You notice that she's kind of doing things. You don't feel any shifts in the air, you don't feel anything. And even with your true sight, you're not feeling any like any negative energy towards the party.
We
With a
can't be
14,
harmed anyways, so
exactly. With a 14, you are kind of watching and just noticing as Caglio is kind of like doing a little bit of obviously magic. And there's a very, very brief moment, and you're not entirely sure if you even saw it. But there's a very small moment where just behind Caglio, you get this very faint image of Rose, and then it's gone in an instant. There's this very small moment where, with the 14, unfortunately, you don't entirely believe it was her. But you swear you saw just a small image there.
Okay.
As Caglio just okay.
Question.
If
During that
yes.
brief, did I see Coral or no? During that
No.
brief interchange. Okay.
No. That was more due to Coral's true sight.
Sure.
Okay. Um if 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 Hermona knows about it, then I'm sure we would have been told, or we would have also heard about it. She's quite reactionary. But we haven't got anything yet, so I'm running on the assumption that no one's told her yet. Do you
You could tell her.
want me to? I could tell her.
if you think
Wait,
that will
hold
get
on. Can
me,
you hear me?
I can hear you.
Uh,
I don't know where
you can hear
are.
me.
I, oh,
Yes, Val. I can hear you.
So wait. Who's there? Who's there with you?
There's Val, there's Coral, and there's Persephone.
And they're okay?
They're okay. They're alive.
Oh, good.
Unlike
There's
some
Okay.
of us.
Shut up. Okay.
Val, there's a lot that can be said and done in finding information. I know that you're not a fan of the gods, and as I said much earlier, I understand that sentiment. You know, you guys have basically been toyed with since you were brought here. I am going to be honest. This has never happened before. Normally, if a god dies, then I'm sure it was explained to you that the concept doesn't, but the body does. So if I was to die, I would leave, but there would be a new Caglio later. This, in a sense, hasn't happened before, where if someone's died, I can still see and hear them.
You can see and hear her right now?
I don't know where she is, but I can see her, and I can hear her.
Is she
The
okay?
down, I mean, as okay as you can be. She looks rather frustrated and annoyed, but she
Oh,
also
goodness.
looks happy that at least you guys are all okay.
This is so weird.
There is a way to. I mean, actually, going through the database, it's an assumption at the moment. We haven't tested it because we haven't needed to.
I've got nothing to lose. Just tell me.
But there is at least a small way that we could find some information. And I don't believe you're gonna like the idea. But, as I said, we're running off of assumptions. Hermona wanted to run off the assumption that the guards could bleed with Headspin. Headspin told me about that and the fight that you had. Kaylee kind of looks over to you, Coral, and just kind of gives you like a really appreciative nod that you survived an attack from Headsman.
Yeah.
Like, people don't do that. We run off a lot of assumptions with you, and there's not a lot that I know about what is going on, but if I can put two and two together, knowing that I can still see and hear Rose means that they're not technically dead, but she's also not here. It's kind of almost like an in-between, so to speak. But we don't know if that's because technically you're not alive, or if it's because of something else.
Kind of like a dream.
Almost like a
asleep.
dream.
Alive, but not really.
The idea that I have, going off of the ideas of everything that I can run through, and Coral, you're kind of watching her shift a lot as she's like going through as much of information. You're watching her shift and change with everything that's going on.
Okay.
Torvil's gotta go. I think
No
we can all
shit.
agree on that one.
Yes.
Okay. The downside
kid-
is we don't know how to do that. The upside is I have an idea.
I'm listening. Anything. I need her back.
We can't kill the concept of death, but we can create a new one. You can't die because the four of you are technically not alive. You weren't born here, you weren't taken, you were brought here and put into new bodies. So there's a loophole. I'm not suggesting you jump off a fucking building. That's not what we're suggesting.
Can't even find a building.
But there is a realm of, I think the people of Alari called it a hellscape. I don't know. I believe that was the term that I learned. But there is at least a realm where there is an in-between. I don't think it's where she is because I don't know where she is. But I do know the only other person that has been there is Headsman. Pomona can't get there. I don't know how to get there because I haven't been. And Headsman won't tell me. But I do know that he at least has some connection with that in-between as well, because just like you guys, he wasn't born here, he was brought here by something else.
This is because we're from Alaska.
That's my assumption. That's what I think. I mean,
Where
as
do we
you can
find
see,
Headsman?
I don't have a body because I'm technology. I can call on him and get him to meet you guys somewhere. But
Yes, that would be excellent.
I'm not a lot of help right now.
You're doing
Is there
okay.
anything that you want to say to her now? Because I can see and hear her. Because once you leave, Headsman isn't a proper god, so he won't be able to communicate. So you will be without that for a little while. And
How-
I am going to make this easier and say that Cagliostro will communicate this so you two can talk freely.
Okay.
Because I am also awkward.
Hold on. Let me see if I got
Yeah,
that.
oh, poor Kevin. This is exactly that part in Ghost with.
See, now we're talking ghosts, right? Now we're there. Okay.
That's fucking funny.
I just unplugged myself. I think Val is going to say, I'm coming for you, and you you better take care of yourself because I need you, and we have to finish this together.
Well, I think you're the one that needs to take care of yourself. There's not much really that I can do here. Look, I want to come back. I do. I miss you. I need to see you, but please don't endanger yourself for me. Okay, that's not logical. You know that. You need to keep yourself safe first. I got myself here. I never really know when to keep my mouth shut, and I've been so angry lately. And I don't know. Please, I don't think I could live with myself if anything happened to you. Promise me that if it looks like you can't get me out without getting hurt, that you won't do it.
I can promise that I will try. It's the three of us, and we're gonna figure it out. And I need you to also promise me that you will use your so smart brain to try to find a way on your end to get out, if you can. Or at least to be able to figure out where you are, or it, so we can find you easier. I will find you.
I know. I know you will. And you know me. I'm too stubborn to just lie down and die anyway. I mean, I'm dead and I'm still going, so not gonna stop now. Val, I'll see you soon, okay?
I'll see you soon.
XOXO. Bye.
Yeah.
The entire time that Cagliostro has kind of been getting the messages going.
And she said, and he said,
I like to think that Caglio was doing voices like a DM
Yeah.
would.
Oh, yeah, and she was not accurate in the slightest. It almost sounded like both voices were like deep men, because they only have the one voice. No.
Are they Australian all of a sudden?
You mean Rose, not Rose. Yeah, so during this conversation, Cagliostro hasn't been just standing there and doing it. And Coral, you've been watching her kind of doing this magic with her hands. You've been watching her like go through the database. You're watching her shift. You're watching her eyes kind of glaze over as she goes through as much as she possibly can. And you're seeing her kind of like going through, and she's like, Okay. I think I have something for you. Give me 1 minute, and I'll be back. Headsman will meet you at your home. I haven't told him everything. I don't think that's my place. But I've told him that it's urgent, and that he has to be nice. Which means you're probably only getting 50% of the profanity that thing spells out. You guys can see the kind of look on her face. It's affection towards Headsman. Like, there's an affection there. Not like a love between, but like they have a lot of respect and love, like affection for Headsman. While this is all happening, Coral, can you make me
No.
an Arcana check first?
Oof. Okay. Doubt it, but I'll try.
I like the oof.
Ooh.
Oof.
Oh, hey, there we go.
Way!
Those
With
dice
an
make me
Arcana check.
nervous because they don't reveal until they're done rolling.
I
Like-
know. I don't. I gotta pick a new one.
You are kind of. You've been watching them cast whatever magic, doing whatever fucking spell that they've been doing for this entire time. Your mind. I mean, hey, your words are not mine. You are not the smartest. But there's just something that has clicked in the way that you're watching these movements, and it almost reminds you of the kind of feelings that you would get when you were back down in Alari and talking to your own gods when you were communicating with them. It almost gives you the same feeling as well as this tiny little tingle when when your true sight activates, or when you kind of notice that this sense is happening. You have watched her casting this spell, and she's been casting it for the entire time that you've been here and talking. And as she kind of walks off, for a moment, for like a minute, so you two, if you want to, can have a little chat, Val and Coral, for like a minute. So if you want to do that, you can. If you don't, we can skip ahead.
I think she's gonna be like, I'm just so happy that she isn't completely dead. I'm starting to feel very anxious about the fact that that Caglio doesn't even know how to.
I'm anxious about all of this shit. No, honestly, even when I feel a little bit like that, a little bit of the comfort that I'd feel at home, there's this undercurrent of suspicion on it, because like literally every time I've encountered a god, it's been they've got their own goals that don't seem to align with us living a good life at all,
Right.
or
Preach.
our world even surviving, so like I don't trust the good feelings either.
Yeah. It's hard to know what to trust and what
Honestly,
to...
the only thing I trust is is you guys.
Yeah. I do trust that she's alive, though. Or at least
I
around.
sure hope so. Yeah.
Oh, wouldn't
Let
that
me
suck
help.
if Caglio was just like fucking with you? Oh, like
Yeah,
if
everyone's so good at fucking with us, so that's kind of the undercurrent of this,
Oh,
Let me help with that. As Caglio kind of comes back, and
don't
you can
phrase it like that.
see that
Yeah.
she has this kind of, to you guys, it kind of has this like this flat, round kind of little piece of tech. It's probably as big as both palms kind of being held out. But as it kind of like, it looks like almost like a disc, like a frisbee, like a disc, so to speak. But it looks like it is kind of this almost glowing and like spinning, like it looks green. You think? I think this is the
Cool.
first time, Coral, that you are like wondering if you're questioning if you're colorblind all of a sudden, because it doesn't look correct. Val, you can make me a tech roll.
Yeah.
But as you're kind of watching this, and Caglio kind of comes over with
Oh.
this piece of technology, this is out of your realm of knowledge. Like, obviously, you have no idea what this could possibly be. I want you to do something very important for me. And Val, I'm going to ask you to do it. And we're going to skip it. I need you to write down. And she kind of like hands you this device, pushes in the middle button, and you're going to see this almost this screen of a computer, like this keyboard and the screen above. I want you to write down everything that you know about Rose, how she feels, her emotions, and how she thinks. And I do believe this can help. And I'll show you why after. I'm not leaving. I'm not doing anything. But I want you to do this. And like with the tech roll of 12, you're not really thinking too much about different things. You're not worrying too much as you start to like furiously type. And the TISM has started, and this is like a 20-page document in 15 minutes of Rose. Just
Val's
completely...
special interest is Rose. And then on Tuesday, May 16th, she had a bagel, and she didn't like the bagel because it had weird blueberries in it.
Coral, you're almost
Jax.
watching with a fascination of just how much information Val has locked away about Rose. Like, you're almost just... You're in awe, essentially, of like how much she knows about her. After a good 15-20 minutes of you just furiously typing, you go to hit like the letter T and it automatically deletes. You've hit the word limit. And you're like, but I haven't gotten to May 15th!
And history will say they were friends.
At the end, you kind of just backspace a little, you delete a sentence and like end it out. And after you're done, you hand it back to Caglio. And she's like, okay, that was a lot more information than I was expecting, but it's gonna make it so much better.
You did say everything. You said everything you know.
Okay, let me show you something that I've been working on for a long time. And you're gonna watch as Caglio presses a couple more buttons, and then you're gonna watch her kind of like lift up this disc so it's kind of floating as she starts to kind of almost extract the knowledge, the information that you've put in there, and you're watching it all kind of disappear, and there's this moment of panic. But then after a moment, you watch as she kind of like twists her hand slowly and then kind of like pulls it out and then leads this kind of magical strain into this device. And you're going to watch as it starts to glow this kind of definitely a greenish color now. And you can see these little rose petals that start to float around the kind of outside area of it. Okay. Coral, you're the one that can see everything with the gods. I know about the true sight. I don't know if that's a technical term for it, but that's just what we've been calling it so far. I'm going to hand this to you because you're the only one that's going to be able to activate it. But I need you to do something very important for me. With all of the knowledge that I know of Rose that I've put into this device, and then the personalized knowledge of what Val has put into this device, I want you to press that middle button after putting it on the ground.
I look over to Val, like almost looking for confirmation this is the right thing to do.
Thumbs up and just sneezing.
Yeah, she is.
Yeah, go for it.
All right, yeah, then I'm gonna go for it.
So, with much hesitance and much kind of almost a fear, as we still don't trust the gods,
Sure don't.
you You leave it on the ground in the middle of this library, and you press the button, and you all take a few steps back.
Yeah.
You can start to hear the sound of this clicking, and you start to hear the sound of this, like, spark, so to speak, trying to ignite. After a couple of seconds, you watch as inside this device there are almost like these lines that are connected together on the surface of it, and you can see these little slots, these little, like, where like little orbs should be, but you can see that they're starting to feel a little bit empty. As it starts to light up, you notice that the middle core of where it is emits this very bright glow. And after about a minute, you're going to see a physical manifestation of Rose kind of standing above this thing. So, here's the difference. When you use this device, Rose will be active in the party. She will not be able to communicate, and she will not be able to do anything, but essentially, this is the way to keep Rose still in combat, and also as a way to kind of get her walking around with the party.
Define. Okay, this is important for me because you said she can't do
Yes.
anything. So what can actually
Yeah.
she do?
So what I mean by she can't do anything is very much an overgeneralization of it. Like, you can still walk around, you can still interact with things, you can still, like, do spells and cast magic. What I mean by you can't do anything is you can't, like, help with actions, you can't
Okay.
like physically interact with them, you can't, like,
And this
talk
thing
to them,
can't
hear them.
speak, right? Okay.
No.
Okay.
So essentially what it is it's basically allowing you a way to still be with the party, so you can still walk around, you can still see things, still do things, because when the device activates, Rose, you notice that your outside view of this kind of darkness kind of lights up, and almost like you're standing there in that library.
Okay, that was gonna
Again.
be my question. I was like, is this
Yeah.
like an AI generated recreation of Rose, or is
God,
this
no.
Rose like a projection of Rose from where she is?
Essentially, it's a projection.
Okay.
This is running off the idea that, like, putting as much information. This is like basically you've created an automaton of Rose, so to speak. Like, you've built a Rose.
So for Rose's perspective, she's still in that place. But
Yes, and you know that you're still in that place.
she can see kind of what's happening to the
Oh,
Yes.
so this is Inside Out, but Rose is Joy.
I like this. And the creation
So to speak.
is
Riley.
Riley. That conceptualized this perfectly for me. You just had to put it
Yeah,
in Disney
brilliant.
terms.
Yep, I knew it.
So does a little console pop up and I'm like, ooh.
If you want to make it that, we can.
Sure, you've done everything kind of like a little bit high techy. Let Rose have a console. She's playing like this video game. Essentially, she's playing a video game.
You get a PlayStation 5 controller. You get a PlayStation 6 controller that has, like, motion and gyroscope.
It's Ready Player One, except your all's is the actual reality, and mine's the game world. It's like,
And for some reason, Lewis Black is yelling at you.
that just happens in all of Rose's dreams.
Yeah, so essentially put, this is the kind of in-universe way to still keep you with the party. So you're still able to participate in combat, you're still able to do your things. Because, like, originally, I won't lie, and that's where we'll end the session, of course, because it was a good moment to kind of end it on there.
Good timing.
The good news is that I did still want to keep you with the party. I didn't want to split it completely, but I had to come up with a reason as to how. And using the God of Knowledge, able to create an automaton, it was also very Val coded, being an artificer as well. The other thing about it was, I originally was absolutely not going to let you anywhere near the party. You were going to have your own story completely. And then I was like, oh, wait, hang on. Rose is the healer. They kind of need that.
Yeah, Rose got all the healing.
I was like,
yeah.
they kind of need something. I was like,
Persephone and Val both have healing spells now too, I think. So
Yes, but not like
Well, I'll show them
Rose.
in this world.
Rose is like a dedicated healer. Stop trying to trivialize me. You need me.
We really do.
But Rose will still, I mean, I guess Rose, from her perspective, still has her own shit to deal with outside of that, too.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
I like this.
Yeah.
I like
But
this.
yeah, so this was kind of like the way to keep everybody together, to keep things going and keep the story moving. Obviously, the only difference is you can't communicate, you can't speak, you can't hear, stuff like that. You can still see them, obviously. You're looking around and able to do things. You can't see or hear.
Question, then.
Yes.
Okay. This is important technically. Can I still cast spells with verbal components? There's no right or wrong answer. I just need to know which way to do this.
That is a very good question.
You can think
Okay.
about it. You can think about it. I don't want you to ask. I don't want you to answer too fast, because I'm afraid if you answer too fast, the answer is going to be bad for me. So,
I think, like, honestly,
I will
if
give it some
she's
time
doing
to think
spells,
about it.
yeah. I mean,
Because the spells work. They are different.
okay.
But this is an automaton that can't speak. She can't communicate.
A lot of verbal components. Okay, how's this?
I am going to say yes, the spells can still work because we
Okay.
have technically created an automaton replication of Rose. While
Okay.
she's not able to communicate because she is a robot, she's still able to do everything that she was able to do beforehand in different ways.
Let me ask you this, okay? And I'm not trying to I'm not trying to get around the rules that you placed out here, but I
It's
kind of
okay.
am.
I will kill you again if I have to.
I kind of am, and it's almost it's a little bit of payback because you do this to me all the time too. So
Yeah, that's fair. That's
I
so
have,
valid, King.
like, so there's still like a physical manifestation of her. So like she's got her hands,
Yes.
like you can see her. Okay, Rose is proficient in common sign language. Can I
I am so
communicate
glad.
with
No,
that?
I'm so glad that you came up with that because that was going to be the workaround for it. Because
For the
theoretically
verbal
speaking,
components?
sign language is a language that you
Yeah.
can speak.
I'll also speak sign language.
That's my thing right there.
No, I'm happy to let that be. I am more than happy to let that be a workaround for it. Because, I mean,
Okay.
I've played with you guys and you guys have played with me for a long enough time now. You know that I love a loophole. I love a good, like, fucky-wucky kind of
Here's I'm going to
situation.
need you to restate that, though, because you said, no, I'm okay with that being a loophole. So I can or I cannot. I need a verbal
You can use
confirmation.
sign language.
Yes,
You
okay,
can use
perfect.
sign language because technically sign language is a language that you can speak because you are speaking with your hands. That is the technicality with it.
I love that they
I
added
am
that. That's,
okay.
I think, my favorite thing about 5.5e is common sign language is a language now. I choose it
Yeah.
on every character I take because I just think it's such a great concept.
I am 100% okay with that.
I'm excited. So we're coming up to the end then, you say? We're getting
Yes, we are
close.
starting a final arc. I have, as I said, I have planned the ending. I have planned how we're going to finish. The fun part is just how the fuck are we going to get there? While we're still on it, I'm assuming we're still at the end of this session. Whether you want to make it a post show. Actually, no, we'll make it a post show.
Okay. Let's do that then. So for this, we'll cut this right here at the end of the episode. Thank you for running. This was a great way to come back. I know we've been gone for a while. Let's try to be more consistent. Let's get through the end of this in as consistent a way as possible. That being said, I
So
can't
we
play
can't
for
play
the
next
next
session,
4
right?
months. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed playing. If you do want to hear whatever we're talking about post show, join the Patreon. We are going to start having post shows again. I haven't put up a lot of content lately because we haven't really played a lot lately. There's just been a lot of live stuff going on. But we're getting back into that. Next week also is the return of Daggerheart. We're finally back to Daggerheart. We're going to be doing alternate weeks on Mondays, Daggerheart, and then Final Fantasy 14 until Final Fantasy 14 wraps up because it's kind of a mini campaign. Let's see. Next week, also big week. I think I think I've got 4 streams in a row next week. I don't know why I did this to myself. But Wednesday, Golden Vault is coming back as well. And Thursday, we have part 1, or the whole thing, depending on how much we do, of our Fabula Ultima press start. So we're doing the intro scenario, which is designed to teach you how to play as you go through it. So I'll also, with that one, it'll be an actual play, but also I'll be explaining the rules a little bit more. So it'll be easier, kind of a actual play / tutorial for the players and the viewers. So if you want to check that out, that's Fabula Ultima next Thursday. And then, yeah, if you want to check out the Patreon, you can join that and listen to the post show that we're about to talk about. But until then, we will see you next time, which should be, theoretically, in 2 weeks. Theoretically.
Pending
Not
that.
everybody.